Update 1.81 introduced a brand new class of vehicles into the game, the majestic helicopters. Today we're going to teach you how these whirlybirds are flown. Let's start off with some data. Compared to their elder brethren, the planes, Heelys are considerably slower. For them, 350 kph is already great, and their record speed does not exceed 472 kph. Yep, even an F2A1 can go faster than that. On the one hand, thanks to their rotors, these machines can pull off stunts that airplane pilots cannot even dream of. Choppers take off and land vertically, and with ease. They change direction in no time whatsoever. Yeah, in most cases they lack big wings, flaps, or air brakes, but that doesn't prevent them from hovering or even flying laterally. It's amazing. Now for the controls. If you're not using a joystick, the game will use mouse aim mode. That's how it's set by default. That's the control scheme we're going to discuss. The first big thing is to set keys for the collective pitch. There are many bindings that work, but we suggest that you should try using Control and Shift, where Control is used to decrease blade pitch and Shift to increase it. It works wonders. We'll skip the whole throttle for WEP and go straight to the hovering height. This option only activates while hovering. It controls your vertical movement. You can use the default bindings, W and S, or bind separate keys, let's say Y for going down and U for going up. Great! We've made it to the axes. Roll axis is used to move left with A and right with D. Easy, right? Pitch axis is used to move forward and backward as well as to dive and climb. Press W and we're moving. Don't get carried away though. You lose altitude fast, and it can lead to some ugly situations. Press S quickly and we're going up again. The last axis is the yaw axis. Default keys are Q and E, and they do the work. These are the buttons you're going to use to turn around. We'll discuss armaments in another video, so that's it for the controls for now. Time to go to the testing range to spread our wings, or rotors. It's not a perfect metaphor. In RB, there are two ways you can start a match, on the ground or in the air. Both options are challenging in their own way. If you spawn in the air, you can get into action much faster, but you're also easier to spot. This makes that option extra dangerous if you decide to fly a helicopter somewhere in the middle of the match or when it comes to a close, because by that point, there will be enemy aircraft in the sky. A few hits, and it's back to hangar duty. Yeah, you spawn with your rotor systems already reaching their operational speed, but still, you're very vulnerable for a few seconds. Be careful. We're finally off the ground. Take a look at the interface. Let's start with the central element that looks a bit like W. It's basically your aircraft position indicator. Then, there is that arrow coming from the center of the W. It's basically your velocity vector in a horizontal plane. It shows your direction of flight. You can say, well, this should be rather straightforward. You're usually flying where you're facing, right? Nope. If you want to make a turn, you also have to roll. But by controlling the roll and the pitch of your bird, you can make it fly sideways or backwards if you want. Press one of the buttons that control the roll, and here you go. To the right, there is a part of the interface that tracks two parameters. The left side shows your altitude, the right is your vertical speed indicator. Let's hover for a while to demonstrate. Press H, and now we're hovering at 700 meters. We climb 100 meters, hover once more, and are on our way once again. Speaking of hovering, there are two main scenarios when you're going to do that. First is when you're landing. Second is when you're shooting off ATGMs from a safe distance. Don't forget, a stationary target is an easy target. Let's discuss a few tactics. Most likely, your copter won't have much in terms of armor, and as you know already, Heelys aren't exactly the champions of speed. That's why the first tactic we suggest you should master is flying at a really low altitude and engaging the enemy from the flank or even from the rear. Keep really low after takeoff. Try to always have some natural barriers between you and your opponents. Ravines, forests, buildings, these are your best friends. Find yourself a good spot, stay wary of your surroundings, get a bit higher, then destroy everything you see with ATGMs. No guided missiles? No problem. Just nuke everything to oblivion with your rockets or bombs. High risk, high reward. The second approach is to stay at medium altitudes and make them your own. Spotted a few enemy tanks approaching your zone? Tell your allies and blow these ground targets to smithereens. There are enemy planes appearing in the sky? Leave them no breathing space. It's your sky now. Third approach works best with helicopters that carry lots of ATGMs. Get as high as possible, then snipe your enemies from afar until you run out of ammunition. Bad news is that enemy aircraft will consider you a priority target, and choppers do not perform that well at high altitudes. Well, time to earn those eliminations. Do your best to survive. See you in battle.